A very good morning to you. Welcome to KTN Midmorning. My name is Koi. Now, finding the right furniture isn't always easy, but it is a necessity because either you will outgrow it, or it's worn out, or sometimes you just need a fresh look. For that reason, today on Midmorning Lifestyle, we feature a number of furniture stores. Enjoy.
Proudly put on display inside this place are the works of creative artists who love to deviate from the normal.
Hii tuseme ni biashara sababu haina watu wengi, haina competition vile. Sasa vile tunatumia vitu tofauti na wengine, sasa watu wengi hufurahia hiyo. Sababu wanataka waone kitu mpya kwa macho. Hataki waone ile kitu wamezoea kuona. Sasa wakiona kitu mpya kwa macho, wanafurahia sana.
Making all kinds of home furniture using unrefined natural wood shapes, they create very appealing and functional home pieces for your daily living.
Watu wanaweza fikiria hizo ni takataka, lakini hizo ni material. Kwetu hiyo ni material. Kitu kama hiyo mtu anaweza fikiria hii ni reject, lakini hii itatoka top ya mesa. Tunaidesign vizuri, tunaipiga randa, inakuja inafanywa sandpaper, alafu baadaye kishafungwa inapelekwa kwa watu wa finishing, wanaichapa rangi.
This sofa set is especially unique and blew me away with its mixed materials of wood and fiber.
Hiyo ni sofa, tumetumia blockboard. Tumejaribu kuidesign vile imelala namna hii. Alafu baadaye tunaweka hizo fiber, ya banana fiber. Tunaiweka hapo pamoja, tunatumia vile tunaifunga kabisa na fiber. Sasa hata mtu hawezi kujua kama ni blockboard iko ndani. Design ni kitu ya kufikiria, just a creative art. Kufikiria tu, tunafikiria na kichwa alafu tunaunda kitu.
Creative process. This type of art has also created employment for other talented youths who earn a living making the furniture. From tables of different shapes and designs, drawers, beds, and many more. This can create a whole setup of natural designs in your home if you would like to go all natural. Others would suggest a mix of this and modern furniture, which you can blend in your home too. As sunny days can and sometimes is the only feeling you can get after spending some time with these pieces. And that has nothing to do with the name. These sometimes rustic Lamu-style furniture just have a sunshiny personality. And it all lies in the culture behind them.
The typical Lamu Zanzibar furniture that is more common or better known are the beds, the Lamu Zanzibar style beds. They have a lot of intricate carving in them also, plus they have these hand painted tiles and the mosquito net frame.
The charm is also in the culture that these pieces exude.
It appeals to a very small sort of segment of people in a way. Because it's something that you have to have it in you. You know, if you are looking for this shiny, glossy furniture, then that's not. You don't get that in the Lamu style.
Well, of course, there's the show-stopping pieces which make you stop and take several looks and can be blinding sometimes. Like these seats and the dining set, all made from a combination of natural material.
Basically, what inspired me to come up with those designs is to try and use natural materials.
Most of the pieces work wood, teak wood to be exact. The pieces that are local, African teak. And you can tell from how solid and heavy they look. The pieces are all handmade, down to every intricate detail. Sometimes though, nature prevails and the pieces keep as much of the natural look as possible. Rustic, they call it.
The rustic furniture, I mean, you know, when you use the real wood, it gives it's a different feeling altogether. When you come home in the evening, I mean, you know, you want to feel comfortable when you're sitting on the furniture or when you look at the piece of furniture.
Whoever thought a fireplace, mantelpiece could exist on its own? Well, this one has been created that way.
You could actually design a fireplace around this mantelpiece. Okay? If someone was building a home today and they really like this mantelpiece, then they could actually then tell their architect to design the fireplace of their home around this mantelpiece.
And the great thing about these pieces is that they are convenient, can fit anywhere. Reductible drinks cabinet perhaps.
There you go. Very compact unit. Okay, doesn't take up much space. So even if you have limited space in dining room or entertainment area, very compact.
Sadly, there's not much color to choose from. A few stained pieces, but that's it. Dazed yet?
Swahili culture and furniture design go hand in hand. It has a history to it. It emanates from 16th century. That's when the archipelago islands, Lamu, Zanzibar, Pate, Manda, all were landing spaces for traders, merchants, sultans. So they colonized the coast. And that's where all these designs come from. When it comes to carving, we travel the East African coast. We look at different books. We have a whole catalog of Zanzibar doors. Nowadays, it is illegal to purchase Zanzibar doors because they're considered a UNESCO heritage site. So we take those designs and make replicas. It is very rare nowadays to walk into a store and find anything in solid wood or chunky furniture. Everything is small and made of veneer. And to do Swahili furniture, you need to carve, and you can't carve on veneer. So to keep that tradition going, we use solid wood furniture.
Enjoying nature gives you the illusion of being free and uncluttered. Nature also inspires us to create. Designing with nature in mind is Sempeo Njoroge, who aims at using the rustic look nature provides for his furniture design.
Tumename Big Five restaurant. Sasa hizi miti tumeziweka ndio hizi animals zionekane zikiwa in their natural habitat. Ndio umeona sasa hizi like now the leopard inaonekana ni kama iko kwa kichaka kabisa.
Blending nature with creative imagination allows for your interiors to have dramatic contrast and texture. This is created by the grain of wood, the roughness of the bark tree, and the obtuse shape of the roots. Wood furniture is warm and comforting in appeal, largely due to the fact that it blends with almost anything, anywhere in your home. Nature's defects are a plus when it comes to designing furniture. Here, the grooves and cracks make for great visual appeal. So if you're looking to blend the outdoors with the interiors, then try chunky wood furniture, for the interior design possibilities are endless. This is a place where beauty meets function. At least for today it is. The place where functional art lives. A room full of artistic objects that double up as furniture you can actually use. Pieces that are this man's brainchild.
I think that the collection shows quite a variety of different ways of actually combining materials that you can get from the coastal region.
Lamps, hammocks, chessboards, wall hangings, art for your interior. Well, basic facts about these pieces. 1, they're all made from recyclable, sustainable material collected from his beach in Watamu. 2, they're a mix of wood, aluminium, and flip-flops. Pati, slippers, whatever you want to call them. And not just any wood, by the way.
I'm limiting myself to the woods that are used to make a dhow, the woods that are used to make a canoe, and the driftwood that I find at different places on the beach.
The wood usually retaining its natural color. However, as you can tell with this piece, he is moving towards including some artificial color.
So the painting technique has to be not so much painting but staining, just so that you're playing a little bit with the color.
The textures, however, are defined by their use. With this shape though, he has a lot of fun. And often he throws in some material that has not been collected.
I've had to select fabrics, which are imported fabrics, and then I get the cushions made up locally here in Nairobi.
And that's not it. They're big, imposing, larger than life. They're art after all. They have to stand out in a room.
If anybody was collecting an interesting complement of furniture, you can actually just have one of these in the corner of a room, and it would live really quite happily with a whole lot of furniture that they might already have in the house. Because it is art, it can be seen as you've said it, functional art.
There's some pieces, however, that lean more towards art. These sculpture pieces, for instance, and this mosaic.
The colours of the mosaic pieces used in the pole dancer were already that colour. And so when I chopped up the flip-flops, I put them into colour selections so that I had a palette. And when I was creating the image, I would take the specific colour to create the image.
Oh, and mirrors. His and my favorite, all wonderfully created. What can I say? Function, beauty, and expression in just one room.
Giving us inspiration every week is the Eve Sisters segment that's coming up next.
You all know what Vision 2030 is. And if you don't deserve to hear it tonight. So I'm presuming you do. Because we're all part of transforming this country from a third world nation into a developed, industrialized nation by the year 2030. In fact, officially and formally, the goal is to attain upper middle income status by 2030. I firmly believe that the people in this room, if we agreed on it, we can up that goal and actually be a developed country, a high-income country by 2030. But only if we decide to do that. The thing is, 10 years ago, this country was one that had 5-year development plans. I wonder how many of you knew of these 5-year development plans. But in President Kibaki's first administration, we had something called the Economic Recovery Strategy. And it was so successful that he decided that we actually need to raise the bar and actually transform the country, not just agree or be satisfied with incremental growth and development, but to really transform a nation, you need to initiate, execute the kinds of programs and initiatives that take much longer than 5 years, that actually require, in some cases, an entire generation of sustained, continued excellence of execution, and hence a long-term vision 2030. And that process began around 2004, 2005, the process of thinking through what should this country be a generation from today? What shall we bequeath our children and grandchildren? And by 2008, when the vision was launched, it was clear where we needed to be. And I just happened to be fortunate enough to be around and asked to sort of coordinate the process, because I don't really execute Vision 2030. All of you, in your various capacities, will be the ones to do it. Me too, included, but all of us. And in the last 4 years, what have we seen? quite a bit. And I always tell my friends, the glass is either half full or half empty. And depending on your perspective, that half full glass will fill up very quickly, or the half empty glass will actually really get empty. And so over the last 4 years, we've had our challenges, and significant ones. Challenges that few countries have faced, especially starting with the post-election crisis of 2007, 2008. We've had drought, we've seen starvation, we've seen our own fellow citizens starving. We have suffered from the global financial crisis. We're even being hit by the Euro crisis in Europe right now, because most of our tourists come from Europe. Our flowers go to Europe. But then, in that 4 years, a lot else has happened. In 1 year, between 2009 and 2010, we moved our growth rate, GDP per capita growth rate, from 1.6% to 5.7% in 1 year. In 2010, we promulgated a constitution that radically transformed the governance landscape in this country and has perhaps the most robust socio-economic Bill of Rights of any constitution in the entire world. And come March, if we do have our elections in March, we will find ourselves in a very different country. A country that is more Barack Obama than David Cameron, which is what we're used to today. We already have a Supreme Court. We shall have senators and governors. We shall have county assemblies. And that transition will require your full participation. And you will have to participate in every respect. You will have to pray for a successful transition, but you'll also have to work for it. Neither of those by themselves will do. You'll need to do both. Now, in those 4 years also, we've seen Vision 2030 begin to take root in other respects. So, you have the political pillar, which is where the Constitution finds itself. You've seen judicial reform taking place. You've seen police reforms taking place, electoral reforms taking place. And it hasn't been easy, and it's not been always without controversy. Change never is. Change is never easy. In 2002, if you'll recall, we were voted the happiest people in the world. You remember that? What happened thereafter? Now, since we launched Vision 2030 and we promulgated the Constitution, we all still walk around miserable, not realizing that we are actually changing and transforming this country. But you know what? That's a good sign. When it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. Because real, fundamental change is never easy, and it's never necessarily a happy process. Because you're changing the order of things. And there are many people who like the old order. So you need to believe that this country is transforming. And it's not just the political pillar. Infrastructure. I know there's a lot of inconveniences right now, especially around Nairobi, because Nairobi has literally become a construction site. But on the other end of the tunnel will be fantastic infrastructure. I told a few of my friends, some of you sitting here today, 3 years ago, to take a picture of Nairobi and come back 5 years later. I tell you, come 2015, it will be a different picture in terms of highways, in terms of fiber optic communications, power communications. Brownouts will be a thing of the past.
Like we've seen, furniture hunting isn't very easy. There's so much choice, but it's definitely worth the hunt when you find that perfect piece for your home. Thank you for joining us on this episode. It's been a pleasure. If you do want to comment or you have any questions, do not hesitate to email. It's midmorning@standupmedia.co.ke. The name of our Facebook page is KTN Midmorning. Don't forget to like the page as well. My name is Koi. Have a wonderful rest of the day. I'll see you tomorrow.